What's up, everybody? FZ07, bikes back together. First ride of the year other than just up the street. Brand new tires. Continental. One thing I did notice is as soon as I put the wheels on, I literally just rode it out the driveway and like did a circle and came back. My brakes didn't feel that great. Shouldn't have had to bleed them just taking the calipers off. I didn't take the brake lines off or nothing, but I went ahead and bled them anyway. We'll see if there's any difference. Another thing I noticed is my chain appears, or at least feels, to be a little bit loose. I'm not a bike mechanic, y'all, so if you could help me out with what's like in spec, I hope you can see this. I really don't know if you can. I know there's supposed to be slack, but that feels a little too much slack. And I'm assuming those there tighten it. I mean, I really don't know. If somebody could help me out, that would be mucho appreciated. But I'm just going to take a quick spin up to the local, local bait and tackle shop, because it's fishing season. Just started, and I need to get my fishing license. So, let's do it. It's like 60 degrees. We've already got flowers coming up. Last week we got snow on the ground, now we got flowers coming up. My brakes do feel a little bit better after I bled them, so that's cool. Wait for this truck. And I know this helmet has some wind noise, but I do have two new helmets sitting there that are just waiting to get GoPro mounts for them. This is the only one with a GoPro mount, so that's why I still use this one. I just gotta get a couple of mounts. Feels good to be back on the bike. It's been a minute. I mean, I got new tires, so it's brand new, literally no miles on them, so I'm not gonna be killing this. They almost feel like maybe they need balanced, because I do know the guy didn't balance them. The bike shop, look, this is why I took the wheels off myself. There's a shop local here. On their website, they praise how fast they are for tire changes and balances and stuff. Like, oh, you know, fucking, we'll do it while you wait. Cheapest prices around. It was going to be $90 plus tax to just bring the bike there. Well, it was supposed to be $90 plus tax to, you know, ride the bike in, change them out, and then I ride the bike away, like basically while I wait. Which I was like, you know what, that's kind of expensive, but whatever, I'll do it. So I called them. I was like, hey, can I make an appointment for, you know, this coming up weekend? They was like, oh, well, we don't do appointments. I'm like, what? And I'm like, so is it first come, first serve? They're like, yeah. I was like, so if I'm the first one there Saturday morning when you open, I'm gonna get right in. They're like, no. I'm like, what? Yeah, so they it was like, well, we only have one guy that works, you know, back in the shop, and he also does sales. So if there's people in the showroom, then, you know, he's not going to work on bikes. You know, I'm thinking, well, that's pretty shitty. One, because fucking hire someone else. Two, you know, guaranteed money is service. Like, they're gonna pay that day. You could be wasting 2 hours talking to some douchebag about a bike that they're not even ever gonna buy. You know, so I don't know. So anyways, I called a different place, and it was like, what kind of bike do you have? And I told him, it was like, I never even heard of that. I don't know nothing about the metrics. I'm like, huh? Like, I'm just like, what the hell is going on around here? So I was like, well, you know, they were right by my work, so I was like, well, how much if I just bring you the wheels? It was like $50 each wheel. I'm like, oh my god. And that's if I brought them the wheels. So needless to say, that I fucking didn't go there. And then the third place I called is actually located right by the first place. And I was like, hey, you know, I was like, hey, how much for you know, tire swap if I bring you the bike? And it was some lady, like, I'm assuming his wife or something, of the guy that owns it. She's like, what kind of bike is it? Like, kind of rude. And I'm like, 2015 Yamaha FZ07. My back brake still feels spongy. But I told him, and it was like, she was like, hold on. And like 2 minutes later, she comes back, she's like, what kind of bike is it? I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, 2015 FZ07 Yamaha. And she's like, okay, hold on. So then another 2 or 3 minutes goes by, she comes back on the phone, and it's like, she's like, so you're just gonna bring us the whole bike? I'm like, oh my god, I already said this, yes. And she's like, okay, hold on. Again. So like another minute goes by, she goes back, she's like, okay, he said, you're gonna be $80 per wheel plus tax, so $160 plus tax. And it was like, it takes an hour of labor per wheel. Okay, first off, I'm not a mechanic, and I don't do this every day, and I've only taken off like 2 motorcycle wheels my entire life, and I know for a fact it doesn't take an hour to remove the wheel. So that was bullshit. You know, they was just trying to get me. So I called just a local in the middle of nowhere tire store. I was like, hey, can you guys do motorcycle wheels? And they was like, no, unless you bring us the wheels. So I was like, oh, I guess I can probably do that. I was like, how much? He was like, $15. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. So I fucking, needless to say, I was like, well, I'm figuring out how to take these off, and I'm taking them there. So that's what I did. I got them on today, picked them up. And what's fucked up about this is I had a flat tire. I had to go pick up my lawnmower too while I was out there, and I got a flat tire on my trailer on the way to the tire shop to pick up my new tires. So I officially think that nails hate my guts. Nails have it out for me, and nails can go fact themselves. Yeah, my back brake, you guys, is kind of sucking balls. Maybe it's like a combination of the chain being loose, or I don't know. I'll ask the forum, but if any of you guys watch this, know, like, please, much appreciated for any advice. So yeah, so 15 bucks later, I got tires on. Long story short, so freaking crazy. But what I was getting at, shit, I got sidetracked again. was that they told me ahead of time they wasn't going to balance them. They couldn't balance the motorcycle wheel. It wouldn't fit on their machine or something. So I'm like, well, I would, for one, I wish I would have known that ahead of time. He didn't tell me that when I called. And two, you know, I was just kind of like, hey, dude, does this matter? Like, you know, is this like gonna freaking kill me if they're not balanced? And he's like, no, he's like, I ride. He's like, to be honest with you, I've never had mine balanced. Which I'm not gonna say I agree with. You know, I think that ideally, I mean, they need to be balanced. You know, it's just a fact of the matter. But they're not balanced. I do feel a little bit of vibration. Of course, I haven't had it past like 45, so we'll have to see, you know, more highway speeds what it does. But you know, I'm going to take it easy on them either way, just because they're brand new. I think I'm gonna, after this ride, I think I'm gonna go fishing. I need to get some chicken liver, so catfish, springtime catfish. It's weird to have air in my tire, like, it feels hard. That's what she said. But I do feel like my torque is a little less. I'm assuming because of the chain that's got to catch that slack up real quick. But I feel like I do notice a slight difference in torque and power. So hopefully you bike geniuses can give me some pointers, and I'll try to tinker around. I don't know what I'm doing. But it is a beautiful day. Rain. Rain. I'm gonna do I don't know if I'll shoot it today or whatever, I don't know, but the belly pan that I got on this bike, whew. Good luck with that one, y'all. That thing is a biatch to try to put on. And it comes directly from the UK, which apparently in the UK, they not only drive backwards, they write instructions backwards, because literally every single bracket, there's like, well, there's only 4 brackets, but every single bracket was exact flip opposite. Like, you installed it exactly opposite of how they told you to. So I put them all on the other way, you know, the way they told me. I'm like, this doesn't even look right. I'm like, you know, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm no mechanic, I'm no freaking genius, but I'm like, this doesn't, I'm like, it doesn't even make sense for it to work like this. So needless to say, like, I try to put it on, if it does, it's not even close. So I take them all back off, and I'm like, it looks like they go the other way. So I flipped every single thing in the exact opposite of what they said, and sure enough, bam, it worked. So that made it easier. But even once you got the brackets the right way, the nuts and bolts, like, are almost impossible to tighten, to get a wrench in there to do it. So I'm not ultra thrilled with the belly pan. I may not even keep it on here. It's black with the blurple, which is, the blurple's cool because that matches my bike, but nothing on my bike is black except like trim pieces and stuff. It'd be better if it was the gray. Maybe I could paint it, I don't know, but I'm not super thrilled with it. Here is the bait shop, y'all. My front brakes feel good as shit. My back one sucks boners, though. Boners. Ugh, gravel, 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 ugh. Gravel, gravel, ugh. Alright, dudes. I'm cutting this off. I will see you on another time.